Hello and welcome. What if the secret to a long, fulfilling life isn't in a pill but in ancient community practices? Journey with us to the heart of rural Japan, where surprisingly simple traditions are cultivating some of the world's longest living communities. Prepare to uncover the hidden wisdom that keeps these villages thriving for generations. Before we begin, I have a simple question for you. Have you ever shared a piece of advice or a special skill with someone from a younger generation? Please take a moment to share what it was in the comments below, as it connects deeply with our topic today. In our modern Western world, the quest for a long life often feels like a complicated science experiment. We are told to track our steps, monitor our heart rates, and consume an ever-growing list of supplements and superfoods. The conversation is dominated by phrases like biohacking, anti-aging clinics, and genetic optimization. We imagine that the key to unlocking another decade of life is hidden within a complex formula or an expensive technological gadget. This approach places a heavy burden on the individual, suggesting that health is a project to be managed with constant vigilance and investment. It paints a picture of aging as a battle to be fought, a decline to be staved off with the latest scientific weapons. For many years, when we looked for examples of natural longevity, our attention was almost exclusively focused on the island of Okinawa. Okinawa was rightfully celebrated as a blue zone, a place where people lived exceptionally long and healthy lives. We studied their diet, their seaweed, their sweet potatoes, and their sunny climate, trying to distill their secret into a lifestyle that could be packaged and sold. But a surprising truth has been emerging from the mist-covered mountains and quiet valleys of mainland Japan. Researchers and demographers began noticing that other, less famous rural areas were quietly boasting longevity statistics that rivaled or even surpassed those of Okinawa. These were not sun-drenched tropical islands, but rather quiet agricultural communities in prefectures like Nagano and Shimane. Here, tucked away from the global spotlight, generations of families were living well into their 90s, and even past 100, not as a rare exception, but as a common occurrence. What makes this discovery so fascinating is that these communities defy our typical assumptions about what creates a long and healthy life. Their secret is not a single miracle food, nor is it a rigorous high-intensity exercise program that you might see advertised on television. Instead, their longevity appears to be the beautiful and unintended consequence of a deeply ingrained way of life. It is a life built upon principles that are so simple and so fundamental that in our fast-paced world, we have almost forgotten they exist. These practices are woven into the very fabric of their daily existence, from the way they greet their neighbors to the way they tend their gardens. They are discovering that the true pillars of a long-lasting community are not found in a bottle or a gym, but in purpose, connection, and a harmonious relationship with the world around them. One of the most profound concepts at the heart of Japanese longevity, especially in these rural villages, is something called Ikigai. There is no direct single-word translation for Ikigai in English, but it can be understood as a reason for being or a reason to get up in the morning. It is not about finding some grand, world-changing purpose, but rather about discovering joy and meaning in the small everyday activities that give your life direction. In our society, retirement is often seen as an endpoint, a time to cease productive work and focus purely on leisure. While rest is important, this model can sometimes lead to a sense of purposelessness and social isolation for older adults. In rural Japan, the concept of a hard stop to one's contribution to the community simply doesn't exist. Ikigai ensures that elders remain vital, integrated and respected members of society, with a clear role to play for as long as they are able. This continuous sense of purpose is a powerful tonic for both the mind and the body, keeping individuals engaged and active throughout their lives. Imagine a 95-year-old man who wakes up every morning not with a sigh of boredom, but with a clear task ahead of him. His Ikigai might be tending his small vegetable garden, a patch of land he has cultivated for over 70 years. The physical act of weeding, watering, and harvesting keeps his body moving and his joints flexible. But more importantly, the purpose of growing food for his children, his grandchildren, and his neighbors fills his days with meaning. He is not just a passive recipient of care, He is an active provider, a source of nourishment and wisdom for his entire community. Consider an 88-year-old woman who is the village's foremost expert in a traditional craft, such as textile dyeing or pottery. Her Ikigai is not just the act of creating beautiful things, but the sacred responsibility of passing her knowledge down to the younger generation. Younger villagers come to her home not out of a sense of duty, but out of genuine respect and a desire to learn. This interaction keeps her mind sharp and her social connections strong, preventing the loneliness that can be so detrimental to health in later years. Her hands may be wrinkled, but they are still creating, still teaching, and still contributing immense value to her community's culture. Even something as simple as a daily routine can be a source of Ikigai. For a 92-year-old, it might be the morning walk to the local shrine to offer a prayer and greet the friends he has known his entire life. This ritual provides gentle physical exercise, exposure to morning sunlight, and crucial social interaction. It structures his day and reaffirms his place within the social fabric of his village. This is the true power of Ikigai. It transforms everyday tasks into meaningful rituals. It prevents the psychological decline that can come from feeling useless or burdensome. Having a reason to get out of bed, a role to fulfill, and a contribution to make, no matter how small it may seem, is a potent medicine that no pharmacy can replicate. It fuels a resilience that helps these elders navigate the challenges of aging with grace and a continuing sense of self-worth. While a sense of individual purpose is a powerful foundation, it is the strength of their community bonds that truly allows these villagers to flourish for so long. In the West, we often praise rugged individualism, the idea that one should be self-sufficient and independent. But in these Japanese villages, they practice a concept that is almost the opposite, something known as Moyai. Moyai is a traditional system of mutual support, a kind of informal social safety net created by the community itself. It is an unspoken understanding that everyone is in it together, and that the well-being of the individual is inseparable from the well-being of the group. This system creates a profound sense of security and belonging, drastically reducing the chronic stress and anxiety that can wear down our bodies over time. A moyai is often a small group of neighbors or friends, perhaps 5 to 10 of them, who form a lifelong bond. They contribute a small set amount of money to a shared pool each month, but its function goes far beyond finances. If a member of the moyai falls ill, the others will step in to help with their farm work or household chores. If someone is celebrating a wedding or mourning a loss, the entire group rallies around them, offering emotional and practical support. It is a system that ensures no one ever has to face a crisis alone, a powerful antidote to the isolation that plagues so many older adults in other parts of the world. This spirit of interconnectedness is also beautifully reflected in their living arrangements. It is still very common in rural Japan for multiple generations to live together under one roof or in houses very close to one another. This intergenerational living provides a constant, natural flow of social interaction and mutual support. Grandparents play an active role in caring for their grandchildren, reading them stories and teaching them traditional songs and skills. This daily interaction with children provides a sense of joy, energy, and purpose that is incredibly life-affirming. In return, the younger family members provide physical assistance and companionship for their elders, ensuring they are well cared for and never lonely. This constant transfer of wisdom from old to young, and energy from young to old, creates a vibrant and supportive home environment. It is a stark contrast to societies where families are spread across the country and older adults often live in isolation or in age-segregated communities. The health benefits of this deep community connection are immense and well documented. Regular, low-impact social interaction, such as chatting with a neighbor over tea or participating in a village festival, is one of the most effective ways to reduce stress. These positive social encounters release hormones like oxytocin, which helps lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and foster a sense of calm and well-being. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been shown to be as damaging to one's health as smoking or obesity. The Moyai system and the culture of intergenerational living act as a powerful, lifelong vaccine against the disease of loneliness. It is this web of relationships, This deep-seated belief in shared responsibility that creates an environment where people feel safe, valued, and connected, allowing them to thrive well into their oldest years. The social and psychological factors of purpose and community are absolutely vital, but we cannot ignore the profound impact of the physical environment in which these long-lived people exist. Their health is not just a product of their choices, but also a gift from the natural world they inhabit and respect. They live their lives according to nature's rhythm, a lifestyle that has become increasingly rare in our modern, industrialized world. A cornerstone of this is their connection to the food they eat, which is almost always local, seasonal, and incredibly fresh. Many families maintain their own gardens, growing a variety of vegetables like daikon radish, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. What they don't grow themselves, they often acquire from neighbors or at a local market, meaning their food hasn't traveled thousands of miles in a refrigerated truck. This garden-to-table approach ensures they are eating foods at their absolute peak of nutritional value. Their diet is naturally rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and notably low in processed sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. They eat a wide variety of plant-based foods, supplemented with fermented products like miso and natto, which are excellent for gut health. They also consume oily fish, a fantastic source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for brain and heart health. To put this into perspective, just one small 3-ounce serving of mackerel, a fish commonly eaten in Japan, can provide over 2,500 milligrams of omega-3s, which is more than twice the amount often recommended for a healthy adult for an entire day. Their diet is also rich in natural sources of vitamin D, which is essential for bone health and immune function, especially as we age. They get this from spending gentle time outdoors in the sun and from eating foods like fatty fish and mushrooms. To get the daily recommended amount of around 800 international units of vitamin D, you would need to eat something like 4 ounces of cooked salmon, which is about the size of a standard deck of cards. Beyond diet, their environment encourages a constant, low-level form of physical activity that is far more sustainable than an intense, hour-long gym session. Life in a rural village necessitates movement. People walk to the local shop, they work in their gardens, they sweep their porches, and they visit their neighbors on foot. The very layout of their traditional homes, with floor-level seating and futons for sleeping, requires them to stand up and sit down many times a day, which is a simple but effective way to maintain leg strength and flexibility. Walking on unpaved country lanes and uneven garden paths also helps to improve balance and engage core stabilizing muscles, reducing the risk of falls, which can be so dangerous in later life. This type of movement is not seen as exercise, but simply as a natural part of living, making it effortless to maintain throughout one's entire life. Finally, the serene environment itself plays an unsung role in their well-being. These villages are often free from the constant noise, light, and air pollution that plague modern cities. The clean air reduces respiratory stress, while the quiet surroundings lower the background level of stress hormones in the body. Living more closely aligned with the natural cycles of day and night helps to regulate their sleep patterns. They tend to wake with the sun and wind down in the evening, promoting deep, restorative sleep. This quality sleep is when the body does its most important work of repairing cells, consolidating memories, and strengthening the immune system. This gentle, nature-infused lifestyle, combined with a nutrient-dense diet and constant natural movement, creates a powerful synergy that supports physical health from the inside out, year after year, decade after decade. So, what can we, living in our very different world, learn from the quiet wisdom of these long-lasting Japanese communities? The most important lesson is a gentle shift in perspective, moving our focus away from complicated quick fixes and toward the simple, fundamental pillars of a good life. We have seen that their remarkable longevity is not the result of a single magic bullet, but rather the harmonious interplay of 3 key elements. First is Ikigai, a profound sense of purpose that gives meaning to each day and keeps the mind and spirit engaged. Second is Moyai, the deep and unwavering strength of community bonds that provide a safety net of mutual support and eradicate loneliness. And third is a life lived in tune with nature's rhythm, embracing local food, natural movement, and a serene environment. The beauty of these principles is that they are not about adding more to our already busy lives, but about rediscovering the value in what is simple and human. It challenges the notion that we need expensive supplements or complicated technologies to be healthy. Instead, it suggests that what we truly need is a reason to wake up, people to share our journey with, and a healthy connection to the world around us. You do not need to move to rural Japan to begin applying this wisdom to your own life. Think about finding your own small Ikigai. It could be as simple as tending to a houseplant, mastering a new recipe to share with your family, or volunteering for a local cause you care about. The goal is to find a small daily activity that gives you a sense of contribution and joy. Consider how you can strengthen your own community bonds, your own Moyai. Perhaps it means reaching out to a neighbor you haven't spoken to in a while, joining a local club for a hobby you enjoy, or simply making a weekly phone call to a friend or family member. Building and maintaining these connections is one of the most powerful investments you can make in your long-term health and happiness. And finally, try to incorporate a little of nature's rhythm into your routine. This could mean taking a short walk outside each day, no matter the weather, or making an effort to buy 1 or 2 seasonal, locally grown items at the grocery store each week. It could even be as simple as opening your curtains in the morning to let the natural light in, helping to set your body's internal clock. The ultimate takeaway from these remarkable communities is that a long life is a wonderful goal, but a fulfilling life, rich with purpose and connection, is the true prize. By focusing on these timeless human needs, we can not only add years to our life, but more importantly, add life to our years. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this exploration of community and longevity helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. I am not a medical doctor. The information shared in this video is based on extensive research and my experience in helping people with their diets and lifestyle choices.